Great. Okay, so welcome to yet another online Solstar class. Today we're going to be doing a combination of high and low intensity drills. So the pattern will be that we'll do a boxing combination, and then we'll do that in high intensity for 30 seconds and then low intensity for 15 seconds, and we'll keep switching between. And then we're going to do that 4 times per round. That's 1 round. And then we're going to alternate. So we're doing 1 round of boxing combinations, 1 round of exercises, again with a high and a low impact, high and low intensity modification. So obviously I'll go through these as we go, but that's the general gist of what we're going to do today. We'll start with a general warm-up. So it's pretty warm today. Hopefully we're already quite warm, but always good to get those muscles moving. Anyway, okay, so just gonna loosen up a little bit. Kick out the legs, shake out the arms, any tight spots. I'm going to rotate my ankles, making sure I go both ways and on both sides. Hands on knees, do a couple of wiggles there and both ways. Keeping the hips still, we're going to rotate the torso. And then with the hips in the same position, opening and shutting that hip joint. Nice wide steps. 1 more time each side. Nice big shoulder rolls. And the other way. From here, rotating the elbows and the other way. Wrists, both directions. Now we're going to jump back up on our toes. Going to start bringing that heart rate up a little bit. So first of all, just shaking out those limbs. Now we're going to start kicking our bum. Start out slow, especially if you've been sitting down all day. Then we can pick up the pace as we go. Now, every other bounce, we're going to bring the knee up in front. Going to double the pace now, so every single bounce is going to be a knee raise. Up the arms. I'm going to go straight into star jumps. From here, we're going to go into punching straight out in front. Nice straight punches. And to the floor. And to the ceiling. Back to those star jumps. And relax again. And do some dynamic stretching this time. So we're going to have 1 foot out in front, straighten that leg, point the toes to the ceiling. I'm going to scoop down and up. A couple of times on that leg. Try and go a little bit lower each time. You should feel that stretch in your hamstring. Change sides. Okay, great. Now I'm going to kick that leg out in front, nice and straight. Try not to let it pause at the bottom. 3 times, 5 times each side even. Going to do the same. So nice wide stance. Go over the top. One more each side. While we're here, down this leg, rotating out in front, semicircle, and up the following leg. One more time each way. And relax. Jumping back up into that little bounce. Shaking out your arms again. You're gonna punch out straight in front. Up to the ceiling. Down to the floor. Out in front again. Gonna jump up. Kicking the bum again. High knees. Last 10. Do some jumping jacks. And time. Okay, hopefully you should be nice and warm by now. So I'll just go through the basic structure. I gave you a little intro before. So the first set is going to be, we're doing a boxing combination. So keeping it nice and simple, we're going to start with a jab backhand. So nice straight 1, 2, hand comes out, comes back to the face, hand comes out, comes back to the face. Remember, with that rear hand, you really want to rotate with this back hip. Both shots, we've got nice straight arms, the wrist turns over right at the last moment to get that flick, comes back before you throw the next one. Nice straight arms, full extension. We're going to go through that. So we're going to do 30 seconds on, high intensity, 15 seconds of low intensity, consider that your rest, 4 times. So hopefully my timer will work. Okay, gonna go 3, 2, 1, off we go. High intensity first. Back to that low intensity. This is your recovery period. Slow it down. Back to that high intensity. 3, 2, 1. Back to that low intensity. Really focus on your technique. High intensity. Low intensity again. Three, two, one. Last one. Time. Well done. Okay, so the next set is going to be a squat set. So for high intensity, I want you to do squat jumps. If you can't do the jumps, I want you to go squat to calf raise. But do try, if you can, to do a full jump squat, so all the way down, explode up. And then for the low intensity, we're just going to stick to strict squats. So 30 seconds on those jumping squats or squat to calf raise, and then into normal squats. My knees are pretty bad, so I might have to stick with calf raise ones. Going in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Down to normal squats. Going as low as you can. Of course, if you want to make this harder, you can add some weight. Back to those jumping squats. Back to normal. High intensity again. Back to those low impact, low intensity modifications. Catch your breath back if you've been doing those jump squats. Last one coming up. Try and move a bit faster. If you're doing the squat to calf raise like me. Time, well done. Okay, so next up, we've got another boxing combination. This time we're going to go with a straight right hand, or straight rear hand, sorry, followed by lead hook. So First shot, we're going to rotate the rear hand as we throw that backhand. Hip comes out and then returns to the stance as the hand returns to the face with the lead hook. Rotating around this central axis. Arm comes up at shoulder height. We're rotating around using the rotation on that front leg. Off we go. Down to that low intensity, focus on getting technique without necessarily the power or intensity. Back to that high intensity. Back to that low intensity. Still focusing on our technique. Back to that high intensity, last round. Really turn the hips, get those shots in. Use your body weight, rotating. Down to low intensity. I might have told you this was the last one, I was probably wrong. This is the last one. Time. Okay, so next set is going to be another exercise set. So we're going to be doing jumping lunges and then just lunges, not lunges, lunges. So if you can, do the jumping ones. We're going to go down into a lunge, explode up, switch your feet in the midair. If you can't do that, like me, we're going to stick to just doing alternating lunges. If you want to switch it up, forward lunges like this are a bit harder on the knees, so maybe do those for the shorter amount of time. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, off we go. Reverse lunges are slightly easier on the knees for those who are interested, but if you can, make sure you do the jumping lunges. Going as fast as we can. Down to that low impact. So that's just a straight alternating lunge. If you've been doing the jumping lunges. Back to that higher intensity interval. Again, if you want to make this harder, you can add weight. Lower intensity. Changing up again. I'm going to try and go as fast as I can in lieu of being able to do the jumping squats. Last one of those lower impact or lower intensity. Pause to catch your breath back if you need. Deep breaths in. Last one of hard work. And time. Okay. Next up, we've got a 4-punch combination. We're going to go for an uppercut, lead uppercut, rear uppercut, lead hook, backhand. So with the uppercuts, we're going to hands up, we're going to sit down, we're going to drive off that front leg first. The weight goes from the front to the back. Sit down, driving up, imagine you're going underneath the chin of your opponent, drive up, weights now on the back foot, sit down, drive up, weights now on the front foot. So essentially doing exactly the opposite with the second uppercut. We're transferring the weight from the rear hand and the rear leg upwards. Now we're in a lovely position to throw that lead hook and then the backhand. So shifting the weight front to back or left to right, however you like to think about it. And try and use your momentum, your body's mechanics as you shift your weight to get the shots off. So you've got about 20 seconds left. Five, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Lower impact, lower intensity even. Slow it down, make it more intentional. Slow it down again. Throw those punches with intent. Act like you mean it. Moving between each combination. Try and make it realistic. Back to that low intensity. Take a breather. Time. Okay, we're going to do one more exercise set. We're going to have a quick break. So the high impact or high intensity, keep saying impact, high intensity is going to be high knees. So like we did the warm up, 30 seconds of that, try and get your knees to hip height. And then for the lower intensity, just that little shuffle, that jogging on the spot. Nothing technical there. Going to go 10. Starting off with those high knees. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Remember, this is your rest. Go. Nice high knees. So let the jog on the spot. Suck up the air. Back on those high knees. Last little rest. Going to jump back into our last one of those high intensity intervals before the break. Off we go. Push, push, push. This is the last one. Keep going. Last 10. Time. Okay, well done. I'm going to just pause it for a second. If you need a quick drink, go and grab one. I'm going to have a slightly longer rest before we jump into the next bit. Okay, so final, second half, sorry, not final. The next one is going to be a straight 1-2, so like we did in the beginning, followed by a hook to the body and a hook to the head. So if you imagine with the hook to the body, you're trying to lean over and you're trying to land the hook underneath the ribs on the side of the body. So like your obliques, basically, right under the rib cage, takes the wind out of their sails. So to do that, you've got to make sure that your weight has been shifted onto this front leg. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up with a jab, then we're going to throw the rear hand. We're going to lean a little bit further forwards with the rear hand because that puts the weight on our front leg. And that means that we're in a great position to drive up with a hook to the body, and then we can come back with another hook to the head just to finish off the deal. So what we're going to do is 1, 2, hook, hook. Remember with the between the hooks, you're going to need to reset really quickly. You can't just go from here with an arm shot. You do need to move back so that your weight ends up on the front foot again. So we're transferring our weight front, back, as we do those 2 hooks. So front, back, front, back. I'm going to set the timer off so we haven't stopped forever. Yeah, so make sure that you're focusing on where your weight is distributed. The 1-2 should be nice and easy. Going in the hook, remembering we're going for the body, so you need to be nice and close. And then the second one over the top. So we're going to jump in with that high intensity first. So make sure you do the whole combination and then move off. And throw them like you mean it. Going in 5, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Once you've done the combination, get out of the way or defend. Move your head, move your feet. Back to that low intensity. Now's the time to perfect your technique. Back to that high intensity. Low intensity again. Low intensity once more, final time. Last round coming up. Off we go. And time. Okay, so Next round, we're going to be doing star bursts. So down into a squat, explode out, and then star jumps for low intensity. This is going to be a hard one, I think. If you need to pause or do a lower impact version, you can do it like this, or you can swap the star burst for star jumps for a few moments till you recover. Going in 10. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Lower intensity. High intensity again. Woo, back into that low intensity. Oh, who wrote this? 3, 2, 1. Back to those star bursts. Star jump. Last one of these. Time. Woo! That one was painful. Okay, so next up we've got jab, rear hand, hook, rear uppercut. So 1, 2, hook. We've all done before. This time we're going to add an uppercut on the end. So 1, 2, hook, sit down, driving up. Remember to rotate and stand with that rear leg as you bring the arm up. Oh, I haven't got my breath back yet either. Off we go. Off we go. Keep moving. Low intensity. Use this as a nice opportunity to catch your breath. Low intensity again. Whilst you're doing these, focus on the technique so that it's easier when you actually start adding your speed and power. Don't forget to use your legs. Don't rely just on your arms. Lower intensity. Last one. So next one's nice and easy to explain. First up, we've got plank jacks. We're going to be in the plank position, and we're just going to move our feet in and out. So up on your hands. I don't know if you can see me actually. And we're going to jump our feet in and out. Try and keep your back nice and flat. For the other intervals, we're just going to do straight up plank. You can also do these off your elbows if you prefer. Going in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Try and keep your core engaged. Nice flat back. Hold it. I'm so sweaty, my hands genuinely slipping all over the shop. Back to the jacks. And hold. Jack. So much going on. Last one of those jacks. Keep that core engaged. If you need to, swap to alternating taps. Try and do the jacks if you can. That was a toughie. Okay. Final boxing one. I'm going to just go back to those 1-2s. So straight, jab, rear hand. I'm almost done, right, guys? 6 minutes left of work. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. We go. Don't forget to use your hip rotation. Nice big rear hand. Slow it down. Yeah, how sweaty my floor is. That's the high intensity. Low intensity again. Back up to speed. Malicious punches. Low intensity. Last round. Time. Okay, final round. We're going to do a push-up. You can do that either off your knees or off your toes. And then a tall plank. So a tall plank is just off your hands rather than your elbows. And with a press up, same as usual, you're on a nice flat back. Head facing forwards, head looking forwards, and keeping your elbows as close to your ribcage as you can whilst you do them. Last round, guys. Last set. This is going to be all that separates you from the cool down. And off we go. Nice tight core. And hold at the top. Back to that press. have a rest there. If you need to drop down to your knees for a second, do so. And back into that plank. Okay, sliding all over the floor. Back to those press ups. Just go off my knees. Back into that plank for the final time. Time. Woo! I've made a tiny lake in my living room. So I'm hoping you have too, and it's not just me. So grab a quick drink and we'll do a cool down. Okay. Hands by sides, we're going to gently roll the neck. Make sure you've gone both ways. And relax, big shoulder rolls. And the other way. One arm across your chest. Change sides. Arm up and over. Stretch out the triceps. Change sides. Hands together behind your back. Push up. Try and get your arms nice and high. If you want, you can tip over, use gravity. From here, we're going to get our hands under our toes. We're going to pull up, rounding the shoulder blades. You should feel that on the top of your back. And relax. This time we're just going to try and touch our toes. If you can, get your head on your knees, that's even better, or on your shins. Stretching out those hamstrings and those calves. From standing position, I'm going to come down, I'm going to walk the hands out, keeping the heels on the floor if you can, to downward dog. Stay there for a minute. Now I'm going to keep going out. Lower yourself to the floor. Now I'm going to keep the hips on the floor, nice flat straight legs, pushing up, stretching out the abs. Hip should be nice and solidly on the floor. Gonna go back down. This time I'm gonna come back up and on the left-hand side. And once again, coming back up and looking to the right. And relax. Coming back up, sitting on your heels in child's pose. Arms out nice and straight in front of you. You should feel that on the underside of your arms. And on all fours, do some cat-cow. So arch the back and then bend the back the other way. A couple of those. Okay, jumping up. Nice big wide stance. Lean on one side and the other side. Keep that together. Nice big step out in front. Leaning on this front leg. The rear heels off the floor. You're stretching out your hip flexor. Change sides. Relax. Grab an ankle, knees together, thrust your hip forwards. Relax, same ankle on your knee. Sit down, should feel that in your bum. Relax, change sides. Grab the ankle behind you first. Knees together, thrusting the hip out. Ankle to knee. Slowly sit down, make sure you're still balanced. Stretching out that hip abductor and the glutes. And relax. Shaking out. Nice and loose. That's it. Well done for a very sweaty, hot summer session, everybody. I'm going to stop recording now.